Hello, my boobers. Welcome back to Divine Madness, the YouTube book club channel. My name is Shelly Mitchell, and I am the author of Divine Madness, a realistic fiction story of a young woman determined to be who God says that she is and not who she sees in the mirror. And we're going to resume our review, like a characterization and just some healing tools on how God moves through your life even when you think that He's not there, because He is ever present. And I've learned that God is true when He says that He never leaves you nor forsakes you. So when you go through a trying, terrible, challenging, traumatic experience, it seems that God is not present, because people would want to think, or you would even want to think, or I have thought, why didn't you do anything? Where were you? And in my growing process, both spiritually and physically, I have realized that God was always there. And because we go through these things at the hand of man, doesn't mean that God is not present. God is still telling man what not to do, but because man, we are so consumed in our own sin, we go ahead, and those things are because of what has been pressed upon us and what things lie as generational curses. And that's why it's important for us, when we come to the body in the realization that God says that He never leaves you nor forsakes you. That's why it's important for your healing and for your maturity to extend forgiveness, because sometimes people are really reenacting behaviors that have been put on them. They're under the influence of drugs and alcohol and just sin, and God is still love, and it takes a lot. I'm not suggesting or minimizing the hurt that we've experienced, the hurt that you've experienced, but love and forgiveness is so much more powerful and invigorating. And that's where Divine Madness comes in. And all that it offers, it really is a story of forgiveness. So we'll pick up with this today, and I am extremely proud to come to the pages, because we are moving out of the death section. I hate the death section because it reminds me, and I essentially have to relive this person that I was, and all of her downfalls, her failures, her shortcomings, her hurts, and her mistakes, and like rolling on and on and on. And it's just like, Shelly, come on. But you also see her vulnerabilities and those things that have perpetuated in her life as to why she struggled with these things. But still, to read it and to know that it is me, it's in the least humbling and humiliating. But we grow and we learn and we get up and we put our boots on, and it is my goal even today to be better than I was yesterday, and better than I was in my yesterdays, so that there is a transformation that has occurred in my character, my personality, my spirituality, my steps that supersede the activities that took place when I was in this space of my life. And today I'd like to say that last segment I spoke about gifts. I'm going to say two things that kind of veer off today. But last segment I talked about the importance of knowing and working your gift. And last week I worked my gift. I did a faith work to tackle the balance that I have on my son's school account, because I still owe tuition. And I hosted a bake sale, and I baked about 5 or 6 cakes, I don't remember how many, and made homemade ginger lemonade, and was in the kitchen from Thursday night till Saturday when we started the bake sale. I had 2 extremely joyful and supportive volunteers in V. Jones and Sabrina Ham. Thank you, ladies. And we had a blast. It was hot. I prayed for sunshine, and the Lord brought the heat and the sun. It started to drizzle a little bit, but people came. you all, this is a testimony. When I put my faith to work, I had in my heart and my mind that I wanted to meet a financial goal. And I promise you, I way exceeded the financial goal that I set. It is still not enough to take care of the outstanding balance, but it put a good dent in it, and it is a faith dent. So when you act on your gift and when you put your faith to work, God will meet you there. I did it with the sincerity of my heart. I didn't begrudge baking and being in the kitchen. I loved it. I was at the store like 4 times. I tried to make a list that would have me go to the store 1 time. I had to make about 4 separate trips to the store, and then on top of what I had planned to do for my bake sale, I received 3 additional personal orders that I also had to bake. So after I finished my bake sale, I had to come back to my kitchen to make another order for a woman who wanted the order by 6 o'clock. I was late, but she loved it, and she knew that I was working my bake sale, and her guests were extremely pleased. So bravo to working your faith, work your gift. Get up and put your boots on, get into it, dig in the dirt, believe in your mind, extend your hands, because when you commit your works to the Lord, your thoughts will be established. Do it. Okay. Now, on the flip side of that, I have also been interceding spiritually, and I've been putting my faith to work on that too. And boy, oh boy, is the enemy mad. I have been interceding, and my heart and my mind and my spirit are just entangled for this certain topic, and I've been getting a lot of backlash on it, and the enemy is mad, and he's using various people close to me to extend his displeasure. And so today I'm not sullen, I'm just a little emotionally drained, but my spirit is strong. I'm not relenting. I'm not backing off of what I believe God can do. And I look this enemy in the face and I tell you, no, I'm not relenting. I will not succumb to failure, defeat, or fear. And I don't care who you use. You can use my closest, and you do, relative and family member, but I'm not giving up. And I look forward to the victory on this side of the earth. Not later, because this is what God does. And my faith, I'm committing my thoughts and my works to the Lord so that my thoughts and my prayers will be established. And I declare and I look forward to victory on this side of the world, on this side of living. So I'm a little emotionally tired, but my faith and my spirit are strong, very strong, and I can see it. And when you see it and you believe it, that's when things are possible. So those are the 2 topics that I've kind of veered off today. For Divine Madness, I really am appreciative of this piece of work. And I'm appreciative now because Sonia, the character, is coming out of it. She too is wakening up to how she has misaligned her life to God's promises. And the Lord is using people through the Holy Spirit to really penetrate her mind and her heart so that she can begin to see and think and act differently. And these are the last few pages of Death. We are finished, page 282. And the Lord has sent various people in her life from a further reach, but now he's coming closer and he's becoming more permanent and more I guess you could say a little more tangible, because everywhere she's turned, someone is extending a word from the Lord to her. And she goes to a church and she is ministered to, and for the very first time in her life, she is told that her life has purpose. The very first time in her life, she is told that her life has purpose. And she's unsure and unshaken. But because she knows that her life has purpose, this is when life really begins for this woman. And I say that to say that even in our dying and our emotional despair, and where we have committed a life death. Like we're still a Walking Dead. I love that show. Where we're the Walking Dead, and we're breathing and we're going to work and raising our children, but something has suffocated us. I guess the best way to say is that in this chapter, Sonia is becoming resuscitated, and in her resuscitation, the Lord is pumping life back into her heart, and she is beginning to flow with living waters and expectations and refreshing. And she confronts. Here's where she makes the true confrontation that she's gonna live. Now the battle is not over, because Satan wants to retain her. But now that she knows that God is, and that through God she has a purpose, her chains are about to be broken. And so I'm going to come to a quick close today. Extend your life, not just your gifts, but your life and your spirit, and take a moment and ask the Lord, what is your purpose? We've talked about gifts, and that's a side segment. What is your purpose? What are you put on this earth to achieve, and what is your objective? And allow that to be your truth to resuscitate you. Because regardless of what age you are, and how many aches you have in your body, and the hurt that you have succumb and suppress, the enemy has no right. He just has no right to suffocate and to strangle, to silence and detour, and to demise who you are. God is so much greater. And allow yourself to see, allow yourself to believe, allow yourself to vision those things that are exemplary, those things that are tasteful, those things that are measurable, those things that are achievable, those things that offer results. And be that. When you mess up, take a quick step back and take a quick step forward. Take a quick step back, assess, take a quick step forward, and be that. Be that which you see, and which you hope, and what you believe, and what has been spoken. God has a purpose for you. And forgive. It's not easy, but it's doable. I'm a living witness. It's doable. Get up, put your boots on, and walk through all of the manure, walk through all the fertilizer. And if you're a little more colorful, call it what it is, because it stinks. And walk through that mess. And take your purpose and walk in your life. My name is Shelly Mitchell. I am the author of Divine Madness. I am an intercessor. I am a warrior. I am a worshiper. I'm not just an author or a storyteller. I love the Lord. And I absolutely despise the enemy and his trickeries. Get up, and get to it. Amen.